All right, we are live. Welcome to another episode.
Hey,
Ah,
we did it.
we did it. We're back again. Somehow, some way, we are here.
Another week without quitting.
That's right.
It's Monday up in this motherfucker.
Thanks, Computer Scott.
It is Monday.
It is Monday.
Yeah.
We've made our own day. The show has become so big that they've adjusted all calendars.
Yeah. I'll go with that.
Present, yeah, past, present, and future.
Sure.
Two.
Mostly future.
Mostly future.
In some people's calendars.
Yes.
Mostly our own. But hey, there's always a place to start.
And that place is Monday.
That's right. I also have I found different sounds. Do you want to hear? Do you want to hear one?
Yes.
Humiliation.
Oh god.
Quake 3.
That's pretty good.
It is pretty good. It's actually
Perfect.
Jesus Christ. I got
Holy
the text from you
shit.
the other day where you were saying, "Hey, we really need to bring Quake 3 back."
yeah, we do.
And I was kind of wondering where is this gonna go?
To playing
now I
well,
know.
mostly just playing Quake 3 again.
Yeah, you can actually do that in a web browser now.
Really?
Yeah, that game has become so old that you can now actually play Quake 3 Arena in a web browser.
Well, now I'm embarrassed because I didn't think of that at all. I actually thought of just getting the actual game.
No, it's free to play too. If you just go to quakelive.com, you can play Quake 3 in a web browser.
Jesus Christ!
You know what's really messed up?
What?
It runs better than it ran on your old computer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Would they improve the frame rate and everything?
Yeah, they had to.
The
They
fuck?
improved everything. It runs better.
Wow, my world just crumbled all around me.
I know. It's only a matter of time. Where it's like, hey, if you want to play Halo 1, just go to halo.com, register your username, click like on Facebook, and jump into the action.
Well, that's painful.
It's probably going to be real.
No, seriously. I'm sure if we just Googled that right now, it'd probably come right up.
Actually, yeah, probably.
Ugh. See, that's
Well, like-
embarrassing to me that like I still hold some of those games in like high regard, even like in a graphic sense.
Oh, it's still good.
Yeah, I hold them like as again until I see a game like like Tomb Raider was or something like that. I go, oh, this is what they were talking about when they were talking about graphics.
Right, yeah. You put something like that on, and then like you look over at your PlayStation 3 sitting next to your television, and you're like, I fucking hate you.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Or even when they redid they redid Resident Evil 4 for the PC.
Oh yeah.
And they boosted it up to 60 frames per second and redid all the textures.
Did you get on board with that? Did you buy that?
I did not.
You did not.
No, I just saw a video analysis of it, and it was pretty big difference.
I bet.
But no, I never played it. I played Resident Evil 4 on GameCube
A million times.
a bazillion times, so I never bothered buying it again.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
You know, once you've like I beat every mini game and every like I did everything I could do on that game. It's over with Resident Evil 4.
You've had enough of it?
I've had quite enough of it. For some reason, those updated Resident Evils that are more like Gears of War, they just don't do it for me.
Fair enough.
For some reason, Battle Tank controls and 2D backgrounds just do it better for me. I don't know why. It's actually somewhat of an illness, I think.
That's right. You played Tomb Raider 3 on your PlayStation, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I did this to get before we got your brother his gaming rig a while back.
Sure.
I wanted to, like, he was still like, no, the Xbox is good enough for me. And it's like, no, man, no, we're gonna fix this. Here, I don't think you want to throw that thing in the garbage.
Right.
I just sent the screenshots of Tomb Raider from PC to your Hotmail account,
Oh, okay.
and you can look at those and get a moment too, and just be like, what the fuck is this?
Oh,
These are
boy.
all taken from like in-game engine because that's how that game works.
Oh yeah, I think you might have sent me these before.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, and I was just like, you gotta be fucking shitting me. Yeah, it's amazing. the thing I like most about these new engines, these new graphic engines for, basically for all these games, is how just large scale they are.
Yeah.
Like when it comes to backgrounds, when it comes to environment and all that kind of thing. And one of the first games I personally played that had a great background and total environment was Resident Evil 6.
Right.
Like there were certain parts where you're in a helicopter over a city, and the way they make it feel true to life, like how actually it might feel if you were in that situation, is pretty amazing.
Yeah, my only gripe with like the newer Resident Evil games at this point, they're so far off base from what they used to be.
Correct.
That's just kind of they're all, yeah, like you said, Gears of War with zombies is pretty much what they are. And actually Gears of War itself is Gears of War with zombies.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, I played the first Gears of War with Scott.
Yeah, they're zombies effectively.
Yeah, and it was a great, like, wow, this is really, a unique game and unique setup and all that kind of stuff. But then once people do it over and over again,
right,
it just kills it.
Yeah, cover mechanic. Man, I don't want to think about popping out of that wall. I better have a button that lets me hide behind something.
Yeah.
where I can't be shot because I'm hiding behind something.
Right. And I think one of the first games also that brought that large environment, type of feel to it was Fallout 3.
Absolutely.
Where you kind of walk outside and you go, holy shit, I can see so far. And then you kind of think, you go, oh, wait, I can actually walk all the way over there. Like it was one of the first games where there wasn't that invisible wall where your character just walks and did nothing. Where it's like, oh, it's just the end of the map. There's no more rendering over there.
You've reached the end.
Which we found out in Halo, but you can still get through it.
That's true.
So then you're just driving a tank on nothing. While there's like a floating stage behind you. We beat the shit out of that game.
We did.
Ugh. I actually had Ty on the podcast Friday.
Yes, that's gonna be one of the ones I intend to listen to tomorrow. I've got a bunch of time at work where I'm not going to have to interact with people directly.
Ooh,
which is it's my favorite time.
That's a great kind of day right there.
Yeah, it's just me working on like process and like quality stuff. So it's like at that point I can kind of like remove myself from the general things, and I have a new giant desk now, and I intend to put up blankets on it so I can use like a blanket for it.
Look at you.
I know, and I'm gonna hide in it, and I'll listen to that episode because I want to give that one the full earful.
Yeah, he was good. He was really good.
I asked him like, "Hey, did you guys did you do it live?" He's like, "Fuck, no, we didn't. Did you?
No, we did not. No, we didn't go live." Yeah, with the midweek ones, I try not to go live and just record them because if I do them early in the week, I put them out later just to kind of space it out more. But if somebody asks to go live, yeah, sure, we'll go live in any second. But like there have been a few people that were like, "We're not going live, are we?" I'm like, doesn't matter to me.
No, I wouldn't recommend it for your first go at it. Definitely not. At this point, I think you and I have had enough run at this where it's almost just easier.
Yeah, it doesn't matter really. I mean, me and we can sit here and talk for an hour and a half,
right?
And it's not going to be a problem. So It's not one of those things where, okay, can we just stop for a second so we can kind of put our thoughts together? Like you can't do that when it's live.
Yeah, speaking of that, if you just stop for a minute and we can do some of that show preparation we didn't do this week.
Hey, I got a text this morning.
You did not.
From you.
Oh yeah, you did. I thought you meant from like somebody else. Like,
no, from you.
No, you. I was worried if there's going to be a show today because I'm not sure if your listeners also check your Facebook, but sometimes starting at the beginning of a week, that is a dark place to be.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Like, just had some Cheerios. I wanted to watch the world burn while I ate them. I was like, oh god,
like fuck this place, seriously. And then like 5 minutes later, I'm like, all right, I'm fine, I'm good, thanks. Sorry about that.
Someone talk me down. Somebody talk me down.
Yeah, and then really somebody is me, just in my inner dialogue, going, you fucking idiot! It's not what you're thinking right now is not even happening.
Convincing yourself it's okay.
I'm like, you're right. Okay, right. Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really me like 5 times a day.
Yeah.
But I'm learning that if I just get it out, it goes away.
It does, but the thing is, we have to be careful because you put it to social media, somebody else might pick that shit up.
That's true.
Yeah, because you could have just like taken somebody else's great day, and it could be like something's wrong with John Brown, and no.
Well, yeah,
Now
there's
their
always
days-
something wrong with me. But-
Yeah, so what you need to do is yell at Scott.
Okay.
Yep.
That's actually completely doable. He's right. He's always like 20 feet away from me.
I almost wonder if that would be like a better way to get emails, is to give people Scott's email address and just have a complain to Scott column.
Now that is a good idea.
That's actually, let's I want to get not even just necessarily complain to Scott, but if you don't feel that we're qualified to give anybody relationship advice
Right.
and you just want to complain
Mm-hmm.
about anything and have the world hear your complaints,
Right.
email them.
Email us at john@thejohnbrownshow.com or greg@thejohnbrownshow.com for advice, you silly bitches.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh no.
I am going to fly to New Hampshire to punch you in the dick.
Yeah, well,
It's gonna happen
it would be necessary to do so.
in March.
Oh,
It'll
really?
happen in March. Yeah, I'll be on the East Coast in March.
Oh my goodness.
Mhm.
You'll be able to do a podcast like across from me?
What?
How
You're
much
insane.
it'll be so much different.
Yeah, Brad and I are still working out the details on that one. We're going to the PAX gaming convention, and we're also going to have a few days where we just don't do anything and are unbelievably lazy.
Awesome.
Yeah, I need that sometimes.
Yeah, let me know when so I can take time off.
You bet.
So I don't have any work to do.
You bet, sir. So
Yeah, because I was thinking about that. Like me and my brother were doing a podcast, and obviously me and Ty can talk about anything forever just because we're brothers. But like this little group we have is the same way. We can sit around and talk about nothing forever. But it's really an odd thing that me and you do this every week and we don't even see each other.
I know.
You know what I mean? I was just thinking about that. I'm like, we don't even see each other's faces. And like half the time we have the same joke.
Yeah, it's true. Which is all right.
Yeah, I'm
It's
fine
so
with
good.
it. I'm good with that. Man, if anything, that just goes to further prove our wonderful chemistry we have here.
Our undying heterosexual bromance that will span the ages. Yes.
That's a nice way to put it.
Yeah, it really is.
Mm-hmm. That covers it all right there.
It really covers more than it needed to.
Yep. If there are any questions or concerns, well, I think they were all answered.
Are there any holes in that story that need to be wait.
Oh, don't do it.
No, I'm not. I'm not doing it.
good. Oh,
Not doing it. It's actually been a really it's been a long week for me. I feel like I'm running at a solid like 40%. And I say long week and it's Monday. But I'm carrying the last week over into this one. So after we came back from Chicago, we've been trying to do like the low carb diet thing again.
Oh, yep.
And it's rough. It's rough to acclimate to that.
Seriously. Absolutely.
My favorite snack food in the world is most likely pretzels.
Well,
I think they're great.
Yep.
I think they go great with my favorite sports drink, which is beer.
it is a good
so-
sports drink. That's true.
But when you're doing low carb, both of these things are just like they're wiped off the table. You can't do them. And I'm trying to go the extra mile and to just facilitate making it to the gym more often. I'm trying to like not drink like the spirits I can drink, like vodka or whiskey and that stuff, which is also extra difficult because now it means that every time I go home from work, it's real feelings time. I don't get to cheat.
Right.
So pretty much the only thing I can do in order to feel better is to like snack on almonds, like just eating almonds all goddamn day long because it's allowed in my diet. It's the only snack food that reminds me of pretzels. And what day is it again?
It's Monday.
I've been having them almond day long.
How many pounds of almonds have you eaten today?
All of them.
All of the pounds. Okay.
No, probably not pounds. Probably, I don't know, maybe like a quarter of a pound of almonds. I'm trying to do my best at it.
Which is
'cause-
which is not a small amount of almonds.
no.
You're gonna be so sick of them.
Oh, it's already sneaking up on me. I went out to this place today where they had like a salad bar. And so like, you should put some almonds on that salad.
You're like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I did. I'm like, go fuck yourself.
Exactly.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna put bacon and cheese.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I walked up to the thing where they weigh it out, and it was just like a tub full of bacon and cheese. I'm like, what is this? I'm like, I'm low carb.
Low carb, baby.
Get away from me.
I want my I want my arteries to look like this bacon here itself, you know. But hey,
Yes.
no carbs. I'll be
Yes.
lean as a whistle while I fucking do it.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty. My diet. I can be pretty careless with my diet because when it comes to my workout schedule, just because I am a athlete, like I train enough and long enough where if I cheat every once in a while here or there, it's not gonna make a big difference. But I will say, like, if I'm getting ready for a tournament where my weight needs to be lower, I need to start to diet, which basically just means not eat anything bad, which is necessary in reality for me. It's low carb. The only carbs I ever get are from vegetables. And yeah, it's a son of a bitch. I really feel for people who have a hard time with food.
Yeah. I can totally see that.
I feel bad for people who have troubles with, like, when they get stressed out, they eat, bad things, just because it's tough because you have to eat.
We went out to the Olive Garden of all places for dinner the other night. And do you know what it's like being in that place trying to eat off of their 4-item low carb menu? While the people across from you, it's like, yeah, I'm just gonna have a whole pizza, and then there's like those things of breadsticks that are being delivered,
Right.
and all you can think of is like, that used to be my life, my flavorful, wholesome life.
Yeah,
and I realize with that when I say that, yes, this is a temporary diet to get started.
Yeah, we're gonna bleed some carbs back in once we get where we want to get.
Yeah, we'll fudge the numbers and slide some things from column A into column B near the end of this here. But
yeah, there might be some write-offs later on.
Man, so like coming into this week with you, the thing I'm wondering the most about is how dark is this week's show gonna get?
Oh, really?
Yeah, because last week was an insane week.
Yeah.
As far as world events go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a really nice way of putting it.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole, basically what it's a little odd that, like with, obviously Paris, what happened over there.
Do you want to, in case somebody somehow missed it, you just want to summarize that?
Yeah, basically, I mean, you can fill in the blanks because I know the basics, but not a ton. This Charlie Hebdo, I'm sure I'm not saying his name the way he would have said it.
Charlie Hebdo.
There we go. He works for basically like a parody newspaper, correct? Worked, should say.
You're close.
Okay.
You're close. The Charlie Hebdo is the magazine.
Oh, well. Wasn't he is he a person? At the risk of sounding like a fucking idiot.
No.
Okay. Well, yeah, I know the situation more than I know the details. But basically, they were attacked for they put a cartoon image out of Muhammad. Correct?
Correct.
Okay, good. I'm on the stand right now. Is it true? But I believe it was 16 people were killed or 12 people were killed in this attack?
Yes. That is correct.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy, man. I think you're gonna know more about this than I do.
You got the gist of it, but basically, yeah, it's one of the things that the Islam individuals feel that you are not allowed to draw pictures of Muhammad or even criticize what he says.
Right.
And it's in their ideology to punish by death those that disagree.
Yeah, and it seems like their ideas of punishment by death are for pretty much everything that they don't like.
No, that's pretty accurate.
The more you look into things, it's like, well, what if you cheat on your husband? Well, then you die. by stoning.
What if your husband cheats on you? It's like, well, then you weren't a good wife. It's very, very bizarre.
It really is. And it's really tough to discuss it without this moniker of anti-Islam, because
Correct.
you have to, the whole disclaimer is, listen, I know not all Islamics and Muslims are like this, and it's like, listen, if we can't discuss these problems without 10 disclaimers in front of it that basically explain all the stuff that we already know. We know that no one ever said that every single Muslim is like this, or no one said that. But it's something that seriously needs to be fucking addressed. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Right.
Where you're killing people for basically just a non-belief in what you're on this planet to do, or in what you believe in.
Correct. And then there's the argument as well, if you look at like earlier Christianity and earlier Catholicism, that there was the same problem. I mean,
totally.
It's very difficult to downplay the Crusades as not having happened when they
clearly happened.
when they clearly happened. I think there's two things here that are really important, and I don't personally, even though it's a major issue, and I feel we should mention it, I would hope to not spend all of today on it because it's dark.
Yeah, right. No, of course.
It's really dark. But I think the problem is that when you have any ideology that calls out for some like the extermination of people that are non-believers, or slaying those or beheading those that don't believe in you, there's a problem with that ideology. Just plain and simple. I have a hard time believing that if the God of your religion is truly as just and fair as you say he is, he wouldn't tell you to kill people for, even at the very least, not believing before you gave them a chance to understand.
Right. Yeah, I get that.
And it seems very short-sighted to create a religion in which your followers kill themselves to kill other people.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah, I don't know. It's very. I think what's frustrating to see is that a lot of people you have like your apologetics being like, oh no, it's not their fault. It's just their religion made them do this. Like, but they choose that. They choose that path.
No, totally. It's no different than, an addict who, can't stop participating in his addiction. It's like, listen, There is a certain amount of you that is drawn to this because of your personality, but at the end of the day, you are choosing to do it.
Right.
You can stop and you can think this through and maybe think that this might not be the best of choices. And it's I don't know. I'm to risk coming across as closed-minded, which I'm not trying to be, but it just seems like nothing's going to get accomplished unless we stop separating ourselves based on these beliefs of things that might not be true.
Right.
And that we don't really have any evidence for. Like, everybody has their personal evidences, where you'll talk to somebody and they'll say, this is why I believe that there is a God, or, Jesus is in my life because of this experience, and I just don't know how else to explain it. And you go, okay, well, fair enough. I mean, I don't have that experience, but who's to say?
Right.
But when we have millions of people and billions of people who are basically in this war against each other because of this thing that they don't quite agree on, I mean, how are we supposed to move past that? How are we supposed to move past these troubles?
I think what's even more ludicrous than just that is, the main difference is between why somebody was grown or grew up believing in Jesus versus why somebody grew up believing in Muhammad.
Why?
Just where you happen to be born.
Right. Yeah. Right.
That's the only deciding factor within religions.
Right.
Where you happen to be born and what influences you got in the area of the world that you live in.
Right. Which is what confuses me when it comes to a lot of Christianity, which is they believe, if you do not follow the word of Christ, Jesus, then you will not get into, to heaven. And it's like, well, what about Buddhists?
Right.
Like
What about
these
these
people
guys have never heard of you?
Right, these people who live very, what Jesus would consider a noble life, and they just never had the opportunity, and they're going to burn in hell forever because they were born on the wrong side of the planet. It just seems like, I don't know, it seems like the world is flat type of stuff.
It's like, oh, geez, sorry, Dalai Lama. Looks like you drew the wrong card, man.
Right.
Ah.
Yeah, I know you've been doing some great stuff, but, well, go talk to that guy. Sorry, I don't know what to tell you. Like, like heaven has customer service that's really bad.
Right.
Sir, I'm sorry, sir. I understand, sir. I understand
think,
you're upset.
My stance on this, to get this out in the public, because everyone's going to accuse me. There's a problem, is that as soon as you say one thing in a way, like we did like earlier, just a few moments ago, say if your ideology is promoting violence, you have a problem with that religion. There's something wrong with it. But the thing is that I really want to make sure is out there. So my stance on this is like entirely is that personally, I think that religion in its entirety is dangerous because of reasons like this, because of things like the Crusades, because of just anything negative that happens in the history of man is almost entirely at its heart rooted in one of two things, which is either money or religion.
Right.
More
things that
than
bring
not,
things that bring power over human beings.
Right. I would say almost more often than not, the root cause of it is religion. It's a very easy thing to get people riled up with. Not so much over the terrors that they face in their day-to-day life going to work. Not like if you take a look at a lot of people and like, what are they more afraid of? Is it their boss or God? And a lot of people tell you, oh, God, for sure. Here's my opinion on that. Your boss can in fact choose whether or not you get paid and bring money home to your family.
Right.
And God cannot, because one of these two things is not real. That's
right. Well,
that's
yeah,
my
right.
stance on
No, I don't disagree. And when it comes to moving to the next level, which is what I don't know what that is, but as human beings, we're always trying to do that. We're always trying to move on to the next thing that makes us a little more safe, a little more knowledgeable, whatever you think that, being a better human race means. But I'm not sure that this is doing it anymore.
No, this isn't. Personally, and this now I sound like a loon, because I'm be like, oh, this guy's nuts. But I think really, just as a global society, we really need to learn how to step outside of cultures and traditions, because I think that those hold us back as a species. I think with the pride of, well, we need to keep this alive. This is the culture of my people versus we need to try and move forward as a species. I think that we need to meet a bit more in the middle with that. I think a lot of people try to keep their past, what they identify, going strong, when really I think humans need to recognize their mistakes and move forward with a lot more, I would say, science and planning moving forward.
Yeah, well, the thing is that things change a lot when we have these new technologies that come out that make it so, like, there was a time where if someone was 100 miles away from you, you'd never meet that person ever.
Correct.
And now if they're 3,000 miles away, you can get there in 6 hours.
Correct.
That makes a big difference in everything, in psychology, in the way communities work. It all changes. Back when, a small community, that whole the old adage of, it takes a village to raise a child, not just the parents.
Right.
Well, that shit doesn't happen anymore because, you go to New York City and the amount of people that you're surrounded with and that you live with is so incredibly large that you don't have a village anymore.
Everybody, because of the internet, everyone lives in a city. That's
in one way or another. Yeah.
Because you remember the things you all heard growing up, like you heard about this one guy or this thing happened in the city. Like what was a really easy one? Arby's. There it comes in two separate cans. One's a bag and one's a powder, and you mix them together and it turns into Arby's roast beef. And how could you verify that before? Unless you went to figure out, let's ask somebody over at Arby's.
Right.
And then you figure they'll tell you, oh no, it's roast beef. It's not two things that come in a can.
Mhm.
And you'll walk away and be like, no, they said that just because I worked at Arby's. So I must keep eating there. So, but now with the way the information spreads, is because of how 100 miles isn't any significant difference anymore. 100 miles is a text message away. You're 1,500 miles away from me. I can contact you at the drop of a hat whenever I feel like it.
Right.
Things like the Arby's bag of liquid and powder story just don't hold up anymore because we can tear that thing apart in seconds.
Yeah, you can actually.
I can prove that.
You can
That's
probably
not true.
find a YouTube video of somebody in Arby's ordering a sub.
Right.
Yeah,
Like somebody out back just being like, look, this is ridiculous. Here I am cutting the roast beef. It's beef.
There's probably a how-to video on how to order Arby's.
Yeah.
You know.
Exactly. And because of that, I feel like a lot of people are rejecting that as opposed to taking the gift that it gives us, like, which is you look at what we now know about physics and science and medicine.
Right.
I think when the Ebola outbreak was happening in Africa, there were people that thought that the Doctors Without Borders were trying to drag their family members away in vans to kill them when they were trying to help them through Ebola. And they attacked doctors out of just irrational fear.
Right. Yeah, just complete misunderstanding and not being able to grasp the situation.
Right. And I think a lack of knowledge and a lack of understanding of how the world works creates these irrational fears that cause people to turn towards extreme religions and perform these attacks in the name of a faceless big brother that does not exist.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with that, and it might come across as harsh to certain people, but I think it brings another topic to the discussion, which is with this amazing technology we have, and that everywhere on the planet is a public area now because of basically technology, the internet. Everybody has something on them at all times that can connect to anybody anywhere. Which is pretty incredible if you think about it.
It is.
But what it does leave out for a lot of us, and it feels like it's happening with the younger generations, is that we can't have conversations anymore. We have a hard time talking to each other, and we have a hard time really taking in other people's opinions and other people's statements and either working through them to basically discuss why they believe they're wrong, or to maybe even take away 5% of what they said and say, I'm going to think about that, and I think I might have to change some of my mind on what you're saying. It seems like if you come through and speak about something where you don't agree with it, then you're automatically anti that. When really you might just want to have a conversation about, well, let me talk to you about it. Maybe I'm not, but how can I figure it out unless I build my opinion with the other side of the opinion?
Right. You, like, this week you posted something on your Facebook that was a whole shitload of country music songs. They pretty much just like poured into a bowl of cereal and they all sounded the same when you mix them together.
Yeah. Right.
But that's not, you by posting that, you're making your comment on the genre.
Sure.
For sure. But you're also not saying that I'm against country music. You're just saying that this is how I feel about it.
Sure. No, yeah, totally.
And somebody's more than welcome to come to you and be like, well, this is why I feel you're different. And if they can offer compelling counterpoints to the ones that you make, then they, at the very least, will share that bond with you of being able to explain their interest in something, even if it disinterests you. Just because you don't agree with something or you don't like something doesn't mean that you don't like somebody that likes it.
Oh, absolutely. And also I think it kind of helps build, a social or even just a human to human bridge when someone remembers you as the guy who doesn't necessarily see the way you see the world, but you can have a great conversation about it.
Right.
That's a pretty, I just think the lack of the ability to have a conversation anymore. I think human beings innately, I think we thrive on conversation, because, we really, this planet, it's if you think about it, we're on this fucking planet that's spinning around the sun that we don't know if we're all alone or not. It's a kind of a scary thing. and we're really the only things we have. So, if you live in my world anyway, where I don't really believe in a higher power necessarily, we're all we have. So I think it's important to be able to talk and not immediately and with anger label somebody anti whatever you're talking about. And some people are, obviously, but not everybody. Not everybody
Right.
that just disagrees on a basic level.
Right.
'Cause
I
they
mean,
might-
there are some people. It's very I think it's very telling of the people that you try and engage, of how they respond to if you aren't on the same wavelength as they are on something.
Sure.
You probably see it in your work a lot, but just somebody saying, yeah, blah, 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 and you're like, nah, that's cool, I'm not really interested in that. Then they're like, people are like, oh my god, they rejected something that I like, they rejected me.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, that John Brown guy, that guy's a total dick. It doesn't like fun, but really when you make a statement to somebody, and if they're just like, wow, based on that statement, go fuck yourself, as opposed to even just them asking, like, well, why not? Like, why aren't you interested in that? What are you interested in? Like, that's how you engage people. That's how you share knowledge. And I think one of the things I really like about music, and I'm not too art savvy in general,
Yep.
but one of the things I think that's the best things about things like music and food and art or film is these are all things that can be enjoyed subjectively.
Yeah.
They all have things about them. They all have certain objective qualities that you can, or objective qualities that you can assess them on and be like, oh, well, this is clearly better on this than this, or whatnot. But it's something where your personal opinion can be argued based off of your feeling and your passion for something, versus things like physics or math or science, which your personal opinion, if you say, well, I don't feel that's true, doesn't matter because it's
true.
facts.
You're right. It's a fact, right? Yeah, you could take a on paper terrible film and love it because
I love it like a freaks.
yeah, because it just hits you. It just hits you personally. And what's cool about those things is that you can sit there with somebody who says that movie fucking sucks, and you can go, I don't think so, and this is why. And then that person will go, holy shit, I never even saw that side of it. I got to go watch that again.
Right.
Like, why can't we do that with everything in life, where it's like, oh my God, I never thought of it that way. Let me go read that part of the Bible. Let me go see it if I see what you see in it.
Right.
And let's talk about it. Where if you say, yeah, no, not really, you're automatically you're an enemy to what their ideology is, or even just their ideas. And it's like, no. I just want to, like, if you like something and I don't, could you explain to me why you like it?
Right.
You should be able to if you like something a lot, you should be able to discuss exactly what it makes you, feel that way. And I don't know. I think we're missing that. And I don't know if we're missing that because, a conversation might take 10 minutes, and 10 minutes is a long time to people now. I don't know exactly what it is, but
It's, I totally, I don't even know what it is anymore either. It's, this topic comes up a ton when we're talking together, but for me, gaming is something I've always had as a hobby in my life.
right.
And one of the biggest things that I've had to overcome in my more recent attempts with trying to spread my horizons a bit more and to not just play MMOs where I collect items and get rich and look fancy in front of other characters that don't have them,
Right.
is when I try and play a new game, the game has this very narrow window of about 5 minutes to capture my attention.
Mm-hmm.
And if it doesn't, I'm just like, nope, fuck that.
Oh, dude, I'm the same way with albums.
Yeah.
I'm no different. And it's something I don't, particularly like about myself with that when it comes to music. But I promised myself, and this started probably like 5 years ago, that I will give myself a full year to not like an album. And if at the end of that year I've given it enough shots and I've given it enough time and I still don't like it, well, then I just don't like that album.
That's so much time.
I know it is. But there have been albums out there that I've listened to and I'm like, no, fuck this. And then a year later, I'm like, that fucking album rules.
I think, well, due to how music being subjective.
Right.
It's something where that year, like I don't even think it's necessarily a measure of time. It's maybe just like try and remind yourself if there's something you have, maybe go back and review it at some point. But there could be something in your life that changed over that year that would make that album speak to you differently than it did when you first started listening to it.
Yeah, it definitely could. And it also could be that, you know, if I didn't have a job and I could listen to that album more often, it might only take 3 months.
Right.
You know, it is a time frame also, like where it's like, oh shit, maybe I only listened to that album, you know, once this month. But me and my brother just had that conversation where he's like, dude, I think it was Ingrid Michaelson. I'm a, you know, fairly big fan of her. And I turned him onto it and he's like, dude, this album's dog shit. And I'm like, no, it's not. Just, you know, just give it a shot. And he came on, he's like, I just gotta tell you, dude, I can't fucking stop listening to that album. You know, and that is the beauty of any kind of art. And I can 100% consider video games an art, especially in these days where, you know, let's be honest, video games today are movies that you play.
Right.
That's what they are.
Right. No painting is gonna scare me like Amnesia does.
Fuck no. I played that for like 25 minutes this past Saturday morning. Fuck that.
I didn't intend to. And like I actually got up for like 2 minutes. I'm like, all right, we're going in. Just like, nope. We're back out.
Yeah, I'm gonna dedicate some real time to it Saturday for sure. But
you're going in?
Oh yeah, definitely. I just got to get my mind right because there's some mornings like where it's like the sun's starting to come up, and it's like I'm not gonna ruin this day with this shit.
Yeah, sun's coming up. You hear the birds chirping. You have your bathrobe on. You pull your cup of coffee to the lips, and you double click on Amnesia. Newsflash: that morning will never fucking happen.
No. Those things do not work together.
The last thing I want to do on the laziest day of the week is deal with that shit.
No, it is seriously. That game, you plug in a decent pair of headphones, and it's such a mind fuck, that game.
But like it was even that, like whatever the content that is assigned, that's something that it's you can bond over it. You can say, hey, have you looked at this? And we're like, yeah, and we're having this conversation now about something that just is out there. Like there was I can't remember what radio show it was I caught. It was a NPR radio show. And I want to say there's this local band called Harmar Superstar.
Yep.
And they were on it. And when people asked what their advice was for customers or for the people that are listening to the show, they said, just be honest.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, well, what do you mean about that? I'm like, well, everything's easier when you're honest. Somebody tells you, hey man, you've heard the CD? And he's like, don't be cool. Don't say, yeah, I know what that is. He said, say no, because now that person's going to talk to you about it, and they might loan you that disc, and now you have something that you can talk about or have in common with that person. That's how you rebuild the connections that everybody's forgotten how to build these days.
Yeah, that's absolutely right.
Yeah, and I heard that, and I was just like, wow, what a brilliant thing for someone to say.
What a brilliant and basic, point of view.
Right.
Which it's funny because everything is cyclical, where everything gets so complicated by technology, and and it helps us out in such a great way that sometimes really just going back to basics of, well, if you don't know something, just say you don't know.
Right.
Right.
Well, nobody wants to be uncool.
Right.
Because there's this whole thing now, which I think is the most annoying fucking trend on the planet, is where it's cool to know about something that somebody else doesn't know about.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah,
and I hate that.
And then to go, oh, you don't know? Okay.
Yeah, if you love something, why would you hide it from someone else?
Right. Wouldn't you, like, I don't know about you, but I can guess by your response to not liking that part of society today that I know what your response is going to be. But like, if you're talking to somebody about something you love and they go, I've never heard about that, I'm excited to talk about it.
Oh, I can't wait.
Like, let me tell you all about this product. Like, I'm a salesman all of a sudden for something I'm not even making money on.
Yep, right.
Because it brought something great to my life, and it might you too. And then we can talk 2 weeks later about, dude, I did what you said, and this is what I got out of it. And then there's a whole nother conversation that might lead to what that guy does that you don't know about.
I was I'm actually thinking about this right now, and I think this is such a primitive like view as to maybe why people are not interacting as much. It's so simple, but so stupid at the same time. People are always saying that the digital age is what's making like communication stop happening, where the breakdown is coming from the digital age.
Right.
And I almost wonder if it's something as simple as, because everything is digital and it's so cheap now, like 6 years ago, if you wanted to play Amnesia, I'd be like, all right, man, yeah, borrow my disc and bring it back when you're done.
Right.
I'd physically have to hand you something. People have to loan things to each other. And now you can just go get it for 25 cents.
Right. And have it instantly too.
You can have it instantly. There's no more like, I lose it while you've got it. And the longer you've got it means you're probably liking it more. Like that urgency to, somebody lent me this, I better try this right away. Because there's things that people probably tell you to like listen to or watch. And you're like, yeah, I will. Then you never do.
Right. Yeah. And like, me, I spent, years in this local used CD store in town here called Turn It Up, that I think everybody from this area has been in at least once, but just, to look around because it's downtown Keene and it's right there.
Oh, yeah.
I spent years in that place because they had more variety than the local, CD stores, Strawberries and those kind of things. They had...
yeah, Strawberries and Coconuts were the same goddamn store.
Yeah. It's like, wow, different fruit. Okay.
That's true.
You know what I mean? It's like, people don't see this. But I spent years in that little place because the people there are like, hey, kid, have you heard this? And I'm like, no. And they're like, well, it's $5. You got $5? I'm like, yeah, I got $5. I'll try that out. And then you take it home and go, holy shit, this sounds just like, so-and-so, but this is 10 years before. This is where they got their inspiration, all that kind of, you just build from that. But it was a place where you could stand around and listen to CDs and have conversations with people.
Oh, yeah. Like I remember Turn It Up was where I learned about Skinny Puppy.
Skinny Puppy.
Yeah, no, it was an industrial band that predated Nine Inch Nails.
Okay.
And they're like, yeah, and Trent Reznor like drew his inspiration from Skinny Puppy, and it's like your whole world shatters, but you're also fascinated. It's like, wait, there's more to this genre than just Nine Inch Nails.
Oh yeah, right.
This goes deeper. Like,
yeah.
I wouldn't have known that if I didn't have to ask somebody, or somebody wasn't like, didn't see me pawing through a disc and being like, oh, if you like that, you should hear this.
Right. Yeah, and like for me, like as a musician myself, when it comes to writing, everybody has their specific gift and their downfalls. And for me personally, writing a guitar riff or a melody or whatever is pretty easy. But writing lyrics for me is super hard. And when it comes to like styles of writing, everybody's different. But, you draw inspiration from people and you try to draw inspiration in art without stealing it. Which is, if you haven't listened to something in 5 years and you write this thing out and you go, man, that sounds so great. You better make sure that you didn't subconsciously take something. And there's a lot of guilt when you go, man, am I too inspired by this? Or am I, it's not, this is original, but do I sound too much like this or like that? And then when you find out, hey, you know your favorite artist? Yeah, well, they're inspired by these guys. And you go, holy shit, they were inspired by somebody too? You go, oh, okay, I'm doing okay. Because my favorite band, my favorite artist was inspired too. Everybody's human. We all draw off of each other. It's okay to be inspired.
Right.
Which right. It's tough to, if you find yourself, I sound just like this. Even though it is original, but do I sound too much like that? And then you go back and listen to things that inspired your favorite artist and you go, oh no, we're all just humans. Of course we're inspired. And it certainly makes it a lot easier when you're over the top, larger than life idols. They're just people too. They started somewhere in their bedroom going, I can't fucking figure out this next part, just like you are. It's not, you're not that special, neither are they. Everybody's at fault. It's not a big deal. And
Right.
I think conversation and learning about things like that kind of bring that out where you go, oh, you go through that too? Okay. All right. I can get through it.
Right. Right. It's there's only one musical hero out there that didn't apply to. That was Kanye West.
No, that's true. Kanye West was
evidence.
inspired by Kanye West. And don't you fucking forget it.
I somehow there's this whole genre of quotes that I missed. It's called Kanye fidence.
Oh no, really?
Yeah, have you heard about this?
No.
Here's an example of one of these. Jay is Quelly's favorite rapper. 50 is Eminem's favorite rapper. And I'm my favorite rapper.
What a douche. That guy is fucking kills me. When he asked that guy in a wheelchair to stand up at a show.
Yes, this guy needs to stand up. How about this from 2006?
I'm not playing until he stands up. It's like, well, you're gonna be there for a while, buddy.
Don't ask me what I think the best song of last year was, because my opinion is the same as most of America's. It was Gold Digger.
Wow.
Come on now. How could you be me and want to be someone else?
What the fuck? Do you think this is really him, or do you think it's a character that he blows up?
I don't know. But this is the last one I'm going to do. It was on Jimmy Kimmel Live just last year. Kanye West said, "For me to say I wasn't a genius, I would just be lying to you and to myself."
Holy shit.
Oh man, that one's that one I've only heard that audio cue once ever in Quake 3.
Yeah, I didn't know what it was from.
It is from Quake 3.
Yes, it certainly
and
is.
It happened once in a map that we were playing on.
Okay.
Phobos was about to capture the flag.
Fuck. that name fucking brings chills.
Phobos was about to capture the flag and run it all home.
Right.
And at that moment, I railgun Phobos within 10 milliseconds of him hitting that platform. That split-second kill in a capture the flag match is the only thing that will prompt that audio cue.
Really? Yeah, because
correct.
I couldn't remember what it was from. I mean, it's it's obviously from the game, but
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't think I'd ever heard it. Maybe I did hear it a couple times or once while we played.
That was it.
Oh, yeah, that game was so much fun. I loaded up because I got I just got Windows 8 pretty not too long ago.
Right.
And I have a version of Quake 3 that for some reason all you need to do is drag it off of a CD onto the onto your hard drive and it just runs.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm like, well, let me see if it still works. So I popped it right up. It worked fine. And I played a couple rounds online because there's still people playing.
You're shitting me.
No.
Wow.
Shitloads of rooms.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. The last time I plugged in a Halo for the PC, there was plenty of people playing online.
That really surprises me.
Yeah. And I'd be willing to bet if I got the original Age of Empires, if it would run, which I don't think it will. But I bet you if there was an online feature of that, there would be people playing there too.
You're most likely, I think Age of Empires 2 was the one that got really big.
Yeah, that was big. Just like Warcraft 2 got bigger than the original Warcraft.
That's true. And StarCraft smashed them into bits.
No, yeah, absolutely. I played Warcraft 2 for a while, and then I think you might have introduced me to StarCraft, or introduced it to Ty, and we had the same computer, and it was like, oh shit, this game fucking rules.
I wonder how many people. I'm trying to find how many people Quake Live has right now, because that'll give you an idea.
Oh shit!
It still has a strong Reddit following for it. It looks like.
No way, really?
Yeah, Quake Live has been going on since 2010.
Wow.
Within the first 6 hours of the game being released, 113,000 user counts were created.
Holy fuck! See, I really had no idea that was just like a free. You could play it in a web browser type of thing.
Yeah. Oh, but it does have gore censoring.
Really?
Yep.
So what? You can't like blow up. You can't just shoot the bodies to pieces anymore.
It's less ridiculous looking. Yeah.
Right. Right.
There was a young
Yep. Oh, here's a post from 2014. Do people still play Quake 3? So if that question is being asked, the answer is probably yes.
Yes, it has to be a yes, sir. They still are playing.
Yeah.
But
That's
yeah,
insane.
I was a little surprised. You know, I plugged it in, hit multiplayer. I'm like, let's see what happens, and it was just pages and pages of servers. And
That
I
makes me really happy.
Yeah, me too. I was surprised, but obviously pleasantly surprised. I could pretty much click on any room I wanted to and get in the game immediately.
Right.
But I
right,
played a few
right.
rounds and got fucking leveled.
Oh no! The last time I tried to jump onto Quake Live, it was also the last time I jumped onto Quake Live. Because some of those people, it's a Counter-Strike problem. They have been playing non-stop
Right.
for 15 goddamn years.
Yeah, and that's just those games. They just it's like a jump shot in basketball. You just if you don't do it, you lose it.
Right.
And those people, they just know the game, and they play it so much better than you'll ever dream of it. It's just the way it goes. And you were that way when I was playing.
Oh, Quake 3?
Yeah.
I was really good at that game.
Yeah, like the distance between me and you when we played was fucking crazy. And also momentum in those games. I don't know if people that don't play them really understand how big of a difference that makes too. Like once you start killing people in those games and once the other people start dying, they just, for some reason, it just keeps going that direction.
Well, you get discouraged.
Right.
Because the whole thing with the way that game works is there's no... You youngins may not remember this, but we come from a time where there were no kill streak bonuses or regenerating health.
Correct.
And if you had 100% health, if you lost it, you need to find an item to pick it up to give it back.
Mm-hmm.
And these items would force players to hang around certain spots of the map like assholes, because we knew that if we didn't finish you off in a firefight, you're going to need to come back there at some point.
Yep. And you're going to want that weapon or that armor or whatever.
Right.
And you're not going to get it because I'm going to get it.
Right. Because the whole thing is like, if I had the armor and I get like, once you get that snowball effect, now I've got armor and I've got better guns than you do. And you need to deal with taking me down when I've got crazy ass weapons that you can't get to. Because the other thing that made that game so perfectly amazing is that there was a physics exploit in that game.
Right.
Where you could jump in such a way that you gained speed every time you hit the ground.
You certainly could. You could get some real fucking speed going too. That game was so much fucking fun.
It really was. It was classic. It was. Yeah, we should jump on and find a way to play that again at some point.
I know.
That was hilarious.
You know what I was honestly thinking about doing was just sending it to you and Ty.
I have it.
Oh, you do? Okay.
I have it on Steam. Yeah.
And it's just like, why don't we just all connect and just, I don't know if Ty has Skype or not, but we just all connect on Skype so we can just play and beat the shit out of each other.
Your brother does have Skype.
Well, there we go.
Your brother's internet is the most terrifying internet on earth.
Why is that?
It is so slow.
Oh, really? What does he have, like a DSL? In the woods?
Kinda.
It's almost DSL.
We have a window of opportunity in the morning where when we want to play games like Diablo or Street Fighter, and I honestly this was happening. We have this short window of opportunity where Ty is the only person on the internet in Troy. And then it works.
Right.
But as soon as his neighbor wakes up, that connection just goes to shit.
Oh no.
Yeah.
He's sharing the whole neighborhoods. Or
I think so.
The whole town of Troy.
I honestly think that Troy, New Hampshire's internet is a single shared T3 line.
It pretty much was when I was there.
Yeah, for the entire fucking town. That's it. One internet for the whole town.
He should just set up a hotspot on his cell phone.
He would probably be faster.
Just play it that way.
I think Kenny actually tried that out once. Kenny LaCoyle, I tried to play Street Fighter 4 with him, and he had 4,400 milliseconds of ping.
Why not just dial up?
It would be faster.
Way faster.
It's for people that are bad at math. That means every time Ken pushed the button, it took 4.4 seconds for that attack to be registered.
That is a long fucking time for
In
anybody,
Street Fighter.
which is not good.
No.
But doesn't that mean also that like all of your attacks take 4 seconds to compute
Yep.
into his character? So you just beat the fuck out of the guy, and then
So-
4 seconds later he falls over.
So I'll tell you what I did. I picked Dhalsim, just held forward and smashed Fierce Punch. Let the stretchy arms
hilarious.
do all the work for me.
That's awesome.
Yep.
4 second delayed death.
Yeah. I have no shame.
No, I mean, hey, it's not your fucking fault. His internet sucks that bad.
No, I am the least honorable fighting game player on earth. I would always find whatever is the cheapest possible tactic and abuse the shit out of it.
Me too. Whenever I played with you guys, it was
Yeah.
just button mash. I didn't do anything else. And there's nothing worse than when somebody who really, really knows how to play a fighting game, and then you just button mash the fuck out of them and it works.
I'm immune to that shit, John Brown.
Yeah, I'm sure you are now. You pretty much were back then too. I did it to my brother a lot. Where I'm just like, just basically duck and just strong kick, strong kick, strong kick, strong kick. He was like trying to jump and just get hit every time until
Oh
he
my
was
God, I would
dead.
do that shit in Soul Calibur all the time against Johnny Goodrich. Just do nothing but low attacks the whole fucking fight. He gets so pissed. He tries elaborate setups, just like chop him in his ankles.
Right. There's nothing more satisfying.
Yeah. Well, it's the whole thing's like opening somebody up to attack. It's a dance. You need to get me to fuck up.
Mhm.
You did to hit me while I'm recovering from attempting to hit you in the ankles where I missed. Like that's how this shit works.
Right.
And once you learn that, man, that shit opens right up and becomes crazy.
Yeah, and it goes back to the whole momentum thing. Like
Right.
once you start getting frustrated, like, oh fuck, this low kick is working. It just keeps working over and over again until you smash the controller.
Yeah. Yep. No, it's true. The way I played Quake 3 carried over into my fighting games. I play them the same way. I use characters that might not be fundamentally that good, but if I can knock you down, Jesus Christ, it's party time. Like,
What was that one? What was the game you guys played? Guilty Gear,
oh God.
where they had combinations that would take out 75% of your life. It was like, what? Are you fucking kidding me? It was completely not fair.
Oh, I remember I would do either the chick that had the monster wings,
Yeah,
Dizzy, or I do Soul Bad Guy. I remember like so much. of
Soul
your
Bad
brother's-
Guy. That's right.
Yeah, so much of your brother's life was spent getting looped in the corner by Soul Bad Guy.
Oh man, I just remember that giant red character. It was kind of like Hulkish.
Oh, Potemkin.
Yes, that was my
Yeah.
guy. Because strong punches would take away like 20% of your life. And you
That's the
didn't
guy.
you didn't need to know any combinations with him. You could just button mash. And
Yep.
if you got enough times, it was good.
That game had a new one come out a few weeks back.
Did it really?
Yeah, it's the first PlayStation game I picked up in I don't even know how long, and I didn't play it.
Okay.
I felt guilty about it.
Gear.
Well, my PC games, man. I'm
I hear you.
addicted.
I
I'm
hear you.
addicted.
I don't blame you now too, knowing how much better they really do look.
Yeah,
Because for a long time they looked better, but it wasn't, it was like whatever. And plus PC games for so long, you could have two PCs install one game, work great, and then the next one have some kind of a driver issue that would cause this horse
shit's
shit.
That's just not real anymore.
Right, exactly. and like for me personally, I still live in that past sometimes where it's like, well, fuck that. I wouldn't get that because like, why would I do that? It's just going to have some kind of issue with the install file. And it's like, no, dude, it's a whole different ball game now.
I will say this. Some of those older games that you might want to try from like the early 2000s,
Yeah.
those could be potentially fucked up. Like
Yeah.
Windows XP era stuff. But I'll tell you the same thing to everyone else. You can't take an Xbox One disc and put it in a PlayStation 4 and have it work. Sometimes you got to make some compromises there.
Sure. Right.
Which
Yeah,
we
but
have emulators.
yeah, right. Exactly. There's always a better way around though.
Yeah. There's always an answer if you try hard enough.
Yeah. Like you can play GoldenEye in, 1080p if you want.
Yeah. With Xbox controllers. It's nuts.
I know. How fucked up is that?
The Wii, if you have Bluetooth on your computer and you have a powerful computer, the original Wii Wiimotes can be paired to your actual PC.
No way.
And Wii games can be rendered at better than the Wii could render them. Yeah.
Holy shit! Really?
Yeah. For real. GameCube games are full speed now.
Yeah, I will say I have a GameCube emulator,
Yeah.
and it's fucking good.
Yeah, I know.
Because because I got the Resident Evil remake probably like a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago. And because the GameCube, if you plug that into a flat screen TV, it is fucking dog shit.
It's rough.
It's really bad. And I'm not picky. And it's bad. So I'm like, well, let me try an emulator just, because I do like my technology, and like, if I like getting the most out of nothing that I can. So I got I think it's Dolphin, the GameCube emulator.
Yep.
And I hitched it up to my TV, which my output does run in 1080. And it was like, holy shit, this works really well. And it was at full speed and without any graphic errors and all that. And I'm like, fuck, it's pretty goddamn good.
It's a goddamn future.
I know, seriously. Well, that should have been an insight, right?
Well, yeah.
I'm like, wow, this PC I'm running is actually better than the console
from 10 years ago. How fucking bizarre. In some of our cases, it kind of makes sense, because there was like the other criticism I get from some of the guys I work with too, and I'm like, your PlayStation 4 is so stupid. So they're like, how much do your PC cost? I'm like, $3,000.
Right. And you're like, oh.
Well, yeah, but then the point of it is too, when you have like multiple 1080p monitors and like additional video cards that aren't even fucking needed, like,
right. Sure.
Yeah, I didn't want to have to buy anything else for 10 more years. That's good.
Well, that's a great point though. I mean, how much do people spend on consoles?
Right.
It's a lot of fucking money. Plus
$60 a goddamn game.
Yeah. And also, let's be honest, a PC today isn't what a PC was before. Meaning it's an entire entertainment system now. You can get TV, you can get, video, you can get video games. It's, your email, everything is there now.
You know what we should do?
What's that?
We should we can see each other's screens through your fancy space technology, right?
Yeah.
We should do at some point over one of these weekends.
Mm-hmm.
We should stream you completing Amnesia. We should broadcast it.
That would be funny.
And we'll be there together.
Both of us just screaming like bitches over the fucking Skype.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And I do have video capturing technology too.
No, this will be really good, because what we can do here is it'll be just like when you played with your friends sitting next to you for like Resident Evil, like, oh no, click on that.
Right.
Or like, where's the health? I don't fucking know, man.
Totally. Yeah, that would be fun.
We should do it.
Just see how much of a bitch I am when it comes to that fucking game.
I haven't finished it.
Oh, dude. I don't know how long that game is, but I don't think I'm anywhere near the end.
I want to say it's 5 or 6 hours long.
Okay, I want to say I'm like an hour and a half in. So I'm pretty far.
Okay.
As far as, the terror of it.
Yeah, you've completed 1/5 of shit your pants horrifying experiences.
Yes. Yeah, they really had something going when they made that game. Just with it's mostly, for me personally, it's sound.
Right.
Where there's all these ambient noises of death and horror, and you don't know what's actually happening in the game or if it's just something they put in.
We're addicts. We get like looped into loving video games every fucking show.
Well, I mean, hey, it's gonna go back.
Yeah,
right?
well, yeah. No, I just realized. I'm like, man.
Oh, you mentioned it like a half hour ago.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I'm like,
you're like, it always seems to come back here, but whatever.
Yeah. Well, I'm just thinking, like, just so everyone knows, I'm not being paid by Intel. I'm not
being paid by Capcom.
Yeah. 30 minutes of this isn't a paid advertisement for building your own Windows machine.
No, but I have been thinking about that, and when the time is right, I will be building my own PC.
March, man. I'll already be down there.
Okay, I'll save up.
The time is March.
Yeah, that's when you're doing it. You're doing it in March.
Yeah, you're doing it in March.
I'm
And
gonna.
then this is where it gets really cool because then the machine you build is going to be a year better than Ty's computer, which is a year better than Brad's computer.
I need something better than my brother.
Oh, of course.
That does need to happen.
That's a given under any.
I'm the little brother, so I need to have better stuff.
Yeah, nobody buys one to be like, I want to buy this to be just like yours. Like,
No,
I want to build it to be better than yours.
I want it to be just a little bit better.
If you're feeling fancy, you can aim for mine. But
Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't want to take on the Godfather.
Well, you're like, welcome to the John Brown podcast. I'm now living out of a shoebox.
Right, but this computer is awfully warm.
my monitors shield me from the wind.
I don't have any heat, but this computer seems to do just fine. No liquid cool for me, just one gigantic fan. You just hear a fan come through the microphone the whole time.
Just like start rubbing your tower and being like, you're my number one fan.
Oh boy.
Oh
Jesus.
That joke just does not compute.
Sudden death.
We every week I do this rating in Final Fantasy 14, and you would have like probably hung yourself after the raid group we had last night.
Oh, rating. Okay, I thought you said rating. I'm
Yeah.
RAT. I'm like, okay.
This boss had a mechanic where it would.
You have to explain what that is.
A mechanic is something that does.
Okay. Because I didn't know.
So what happens is it would turn the whole party to stone.
Okay.
Which opened me up to just my endless barrage of rock puns.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
No, it was really bad. Like
Even for you, it was bad.
We died on the first attempt. Like, all right, guys, we're just off to a rocky start.
We just silence through the party.
Somebody was like, "I'm gonna throw you off the edge of this platform." I'm like, "No, we're good, we're good." And then we
no, I promise, I promise.
I'm like, all right, we're having some problems with these rock and petrification mechanics. I'm pretty sure we can cobble together a victory. Yep. I told it on another one. I said, don't take our healers for granted.
Oh fuck! I'll tell you what. Nobody's better at puns.
I think one of the last ones was just we were able to make it through because we had mineral errors.
Nice. Well done.
And then for the one afterwards, we were on a boat. I'm like, oh god. Yeah. Open up the good old didn't see that one coming.
You're doing so well.
I know. I was so happy. But no, let's turn the tide of this conversation. Okay.
Do you want to talk about this video I found?
Yes, let's.
It's nicely named Pastor Punches Kid in the Chest.
Let me mute myself so we don't get any reverb.
Oh, okay. You want me to play it?
Yes.
All right.
There was a young man in Calvary. His name was Ben. And I was running a youth group. I was there for a few years. And he was a nice kid, but he was one of those kids that was always he's a real smart aleck. Was a bright kid, which didn't help things, right? It made him more dangerous. And we were outside one day at youth group, and he was just trying to push my buttons, and he was just, kind of not taking the Lord serious. And I walked over to him, and I went, bam! I punched him in the chest as hard as I crumpled the kid. I just crumpled him. And I leaned over and I said, Ben, when are you going to stop playing games with God? I led that man to the Lord right there. There's times that might be needed.
What the fuck?
Man, when are you gonna stop playing games with God?
Like, as soon as I get my fucking heart to start back up after you punch me in the chest.
I walked over to him. I took out my lead pipe, and then bam, right in the balls. And I said, son, when are you gonna stop playing games with bats?
I smashed that kid in the balls, and I'm like, son, when are you gonna start playing with your balls?
I mean, seriously, this is back to like our earlier topic. How the fuck does this happen?
No, totally. Like, this is one of the things too, where your average Christian, supporter will be like, dude, don't fucking lump me in. And I'm like, no, I got it. But this guy, he's not homeless.
No,
he's dressed.
He's on stage in a shirt with a tie and everything.
And somebody put amplification on the guy. Like, somebody said it would be a good idea if you stand up on that stage and you say shit that'll go over these speakers so everybody else can also hear it.
Right.
And he punched the kid in the chest and crumpled him.
He said, when are you going to stop playing games with God? I don't know. Probably sometime when you stop beating kids. It'll be my.
That's probably, yeah, it'll probably be about the same. But who's to say that kid's not going to grow up, though, 20 years later and go, I'm going to show all them. Nobody's going to ever punch me in the fucking chest again. And do something fucking terrible just to prove everybody wrong.
Right.
When it was just some douche.
Just some douche pounding random kids in the chest at church.
What a fucking dick. What made my favorite part of it? Let me see if I can't.
The kid.
Let me see if I can't find it. Is where he tells him what happens, and then he has to stop and raise his hand. Like, no. I know you're gonna say something, but just let me finish. Like, somebody in the audience is like, "Oh no, I made a dire mistake."
Let's do this.
And I walked over to him and I went, bam! I punched him in the chest as hard as I crumpled the kid. I just crumpled him. And I said,
right there.
I said, Ben.
He puts his finger up like, hold on, wait a second. Let me tell you what I told Ben.
How old is this kid supposed to be?
I don't know.
This guy looks like he's in his late 30s, early 40s.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's a grown man. And he says he's a kid. Young Ben was a child.
Yeah, this kid Ben. And when you look at it, when he does that bam punch in the chest, he's aiming down. Like
it's like the whole thing. Like, how many 9-year-olds can you beat up?
All right, let's use some basic reference stuff here. So why don't you wind this back to right before he does the punch? Okay. And I want you to pause it right as his arm
and he
fully
was
extended.
Just trying to push my buttons, and he was just kind of not taking the Lord serious. And I walked over to him and I went
right there. Okay, so his angle of attack and where he's hitting is about in this swing. If we're gonna apply some YouTube CSI here.
Yep.
So you should link to this in when you post the show as well, so everyone can see this video.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But his angle of attack is maybe 6 inches above his waist.
Right.
When he's telling the story, he leans right over and he's like, and I went bam, and I hit him right in his chest, and he is effectively punching at his own waist level. So I'm led to believe that Ben is no older than 11 years old in this scenario.
Ben had no idea what was coming.
The only thing would have been like more ridiculous is if he said, and then I got down on my knees and I looked him square in the eyes and then I punched him in the stomach because he was so small, because he was such a young child. And I said, Ben, why don't you want to come to youth group?
Don't tell your parents. When are you going to stop playing games with God? Ben.
I leaned over and I said, Ben, when are you going to stop playing games with God?
What Ben said? What did Ben say?
I led that man to the Lord right there. There's times that might be needed.
That's the end of the video.
There's times where that may be mean.
Yeah, no shit.
There is a chance.
I'd like to see this whole video.
There is a chance that after punching a child in the chest, somebody might look at you and say, well, that was kind of a dick move.
Yeah, you think you shouldn't have done that, dude?
But in the eyes of
Ben
God,
can't breathe.
In the eyes of God, I was showing Ben his love.
Through a violent attack.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
When the doctors finished stitching Ben's shattered sternum back together,
His heart was full of Jesus.
and they replaced his shattered ribs with broken bone splints and metal bars, Ben looked at me and he said,
Ow.
I don't like that game.
Oh my God. He's like, my voice doesn't work so well anymore. Mhm.
Is Ben cured? You ask Ben. He's at a congregation today.
Praise
Ben.
Jesus.
Ben, why don't you wheel yourself on up to the stage?
tell these fine folks what you've been through.
Well, Pastor,
You fixed everything.
with every breath, I feel closer to God.
And Ben, if you're listening,
Email us at john@thejohnbrownshow.com or greg@thejohnbrownshow.com for advice, you silly bitches.
Perfect.
it was really good. Computer Scott, you fucking hit a home run on that one.
Computer Scott, I love you.
That was a
Assist.
Oh.
all right,
Yeah.
Greg. I think we did it.
I think we did it again.
Oh, my head hurts from laughing at Ben.
Ben, we're not laughing with your misfortune. We're laughing at your misfortune.
Yeah,
That's
it's really true.
completely clear.
I don't know even close to who you are, so I'm definitely laughing at you.
You are the brunt and receptacle of all my laughs. But at least I'm not punching you.
Yeah, I didn't punch you in the chest, buddy.
I didn't
Remember.
punch in the chest.
There we go. All right, Greg, say goodbye.
Adios.